Hey guys, how are you today? My name is Bailey Sarian, and today I want to film a tutorial using the Urban Decay Beached eyeshadow palette. And while I'm doing the tutorial, I'm going to tell you guys a little story about how there's a ghost in my house. So it's a tutorial slash story time. Bear with me, I can't talk and do a tutorial at the same time. I struggle. And I will shut up. Let's get into the tutorial. Kind of low-key looks like I'm in my grandma's bathroom. For this look today, I am going to start with my foundation, and I really like this one. It's from Makeup Forever. It's called the Water Blend Foundation. Now there's a lot of mixed reviews about this one, but I've been using this for a long time. They used to claim that it was waterproof, but I was reading online now. They don't claim that it's waterproof anymore. They just say long lasting. This is very, very sheer. It's 80% water, so it really sinks into the skin versus sitting on top of the skin and looks very natural, but it will give a really pretty luminosity and just even out your complexion, get rid of any redness, and it will stay all day. Okay, so are you guys ready for a little story time? So, I believe there is a ghost in my house. But, okay, hear me out. I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not. I don't really think about it. If there are ghosts, cool. Do your thing, ghosts. Live your ghost life. It's none of my business. That's how I approach ghosts. I mean, I think it's kind of silly to believe that we're the only people here on this planet, but I don't know. I'm not a ghostologist. So back in October, of course, I really got into this podcast called the Spooked Podcast. I'll link it down below, whatever. It was so good. And I think it was only for October they played it, which is annoying. But what it was just a bunch of people telling their ghost stories and their experiences. So good. I got really addicted to it. Couldn't stop listening. A lot of the times it would leave me with the creeps. I would just be really creeped out because it was just scary, creepy. I also have a very terrible sleep schedule. So one night it was 2 a.m. and I was just laying in bed wide awake. And I was like, you know what? I might as well listen to the podcast since I'm here. I can't sleep. Fern was sleeping next to me. I had to put a headband on, and also I want to adjust the lighting because it looked kind of dark. I don't know. No matter how hard I try here at my home, because I'm at home right now, I can never seem to get the lighting right. Before I get back to the story, I'm going in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Maximum Cover. This is my ride or die. So this foundation is very sheer. You can layer it and layer it. I did a couple of layers, but it still doesn't get my hyperpigmentation. I still have some acne and I want a little bit more coverage. So I use this with a sponge. This is the Juno Microfiber Sponge. And now this foundation is very matte and very waterproof, so a little bit goes a long way. And I just dab it over where I need more coverage. Dabbing. Okay, so Fern is a really heavy sleeper, so he was sleeping. I was just laying there. It's 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put in some headphones and I'm just gonna listen to this podcast, which is an awful idea because not only was it spooky and creepy, but it was also 2 a.m. Prime ghost hour. I'm listening to the story on the podcast and it's talking about this girl, her grandma built her one of those doll houses, the little doll house, and she put little dolls in it, and she said it was really creepy. The grandma in the house that she built, the grandma doll had this evil look to her, and every time she saw this doll it gave her the creeps. So I'm laying there go on. In the story, she was saying the girl got up to go to the bathroom. It was the middle of the night. When she was walking towards the bathroom, she noticed that the moonlight was shining through the window and the light was directly hitting the grandma in the dollhouse. And she was like, whoa, that's kind of weird. I shouldn't look at this. She said she had this feeling she just shouldn't look at it. She, out of curiosity, was like, I'm gonna go look. So she walks over there. In the story, she's like, and then I got closer and closer. And then, and I swear to you, at this exact moment when in the story she was about to tell me what happened with the grandma, I kid you not, at that exact moment the lights in our bedroom did this loud and big surge. It was it was humming really loud. The lights turned on really bright for a couple seconds, whatever, super loud humming, and then just shut off. And I freaked the fuck out. Before I go on, Lancome Teint Idol Ultra Wear Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. I highly suggest you do not use this as an under eye concealer. It's so drying, it will make your under eye look like a dry mess. It's the only thing that really covers my hyperpigmentation, and that's why I use it. If you don't have those issues, you could probably skip that altogether and then go on for like an under eye concealer. This one's nice, it's creamy, it's long wearing. I like it a lot. The light surges, loud hum, freaking out, threw off my earbuds. I turned to Fern, who was still sleeping like a little puppy next to me. And I'm like, wake up, wake up. And I was freaking out. I don't know what I expected him to do, but I was just scared. And he wakes up like, what? What's going on? What's going on? And I was just like, I was listening to the podcast, Scary Grandma. That's all I could say at the moment. So of course he's like, what? Mind you, Fern thinks I'm an over-exaggerator, a drama queen, and that I'm just wrong. So naturally he was like, yeah, light surge, As I was telling him this, it happened again, where the lights turned on really bright, loud humming sound in our room. Like it sounded like the light bulbs were gonna explode. Low-key, I was kind of like, okay, thank you, because Fern wouldn't believe me, so show him what happened. So it happened again, and Fern was just like, what the fuck? And Fern like goes to turn on the lights, and the lights work fine. So after a few minutes of me just explaining, he rolls over and he goes back to bed. And I was like, wait, don't leave me. I'm laying there, I'm like, I'm never listening to that again. I don't know what happened at the end of that story. What was that? Was it a ghost? Was it just the power? It was probably just the power. So then I just kind of keep living my life. I'm gonna take my Laura Mercier loose setting powder in translucent, just set underneath my eyes. Anyways, okay, so back to my story. Also, I'm setting down the center of my nose. Just like as time was going on, I just had this really heavy feeling. I can't explain it. I just felt just heavy. I don't know. A couple days passed. Fern's at work. It's nighttime. It's like 8 at night. I am upstairs laying on the bed, scrolling on Instagram, being real productive. I had the door closed. As I'm laying there, I hear this loud like drop. Like think of something heavy and you drop it on the wood floor, and then a dragging sound. So it sounded like luggage or a bag or something being dragged. So this happened a couple times. I would hear a loud thump and then a dragging noise, and it sounded like it was right outside of my door. We have neighbors that we share a wall with. Like if you have neighbors, like you could hear kind of like noise and stuff, but it's always muffled. So I knew it wasn't that. I assumed that it was Saint, our dog. He has this huge ball, and it's made of rope. It's heavy. It's pretty heavy. Sometimes he swings it around and I'm like trying to avoid it because it's coming at my face. Anyway, so he has that, and sometimes when he like throws it and it hits the ground, it makes the same noise, like that loud thump. I didn't know what the dragging was though. So after like the third time of me hearing it, I'm like, dude, what is Saint doing? I like crawl over the bed because I'm laying on the side, so I crawl on the bed over the bed and like reach over to open the door. Nothing's there. I look down and Saint was right there next to me, just like sitting and staring at the door. And I was like, oh shit. I'm gonna die. Now you're probably thinking, Bailey, there's a reasonable explanation for this. It was probably just your neighbors. But you don't understand. It sounded like it was exactly outside of my door. So me being the crazy person that I am, naturally I went directly on Snapchat and I was like, hey, there's a ghost in my house. And then after that, I thought to myself, oh my God, what if that was like a body being thrown on the floor and then dragging it? So I call the ghost. In my mind, I refer to it as a her, and I call her Ghost Grandma. I mean, maybe she's not a girl. I assume that I got the name just because of that podcast I was listening to. It was a grandma. So if I say her, it's a ghost. Okay, so I shut the door, Saint's staring at the door, and all of the scary movies I see, the animals are always like staring at the ghost. I got real brave, and I grabbed my slipper, and I opened the door. And I'm like, Ghost Grandma, if you're here, I mean no harm. And I just like don't hear anything. I don't know, maybe she was gonna say, okay, thanks. Okay, I want to zoom you guys in a bit because I am gonna do my eyes now, and I want to use the Urban Decay Beached Eyeshadow Palette. I've dipped into it a little bit, okay? This is one of the new eyeliners. It's called Torch. I'm gonna place this all over my lid. I then proceed to turn on all of the lights in the house. because ghosts and burglars hate lights. Turn on every light because I was scared. I was scared and I wanted to make sure there was no strangers in the house. I'm taking a small brush and I'm just gonna smudge that. I'm not gonna tell Fern. I'm not gonna tell him that the story of that because he probably, like, he wouldn't believe me, and I know he wouldn't believe me, so I was like, there's no point. I'm just gonna be wasting my breath. He needs to experience it himself. That shadow brush, plunge. Oops, a lot of fallout. Okay, my bad. So I wait for him to get home and I'm like super excited to see him. I'm like, yay, you're home. That was that. Whenever I come home, I do get this like heavy feeling. Don't know what it is. Probably ghost grandma. And the worst part about this place where we live now is that there's not a lot of windows. Well, there are, but at the same time, it's so dark in here. Always dark. So like the next day, I was on my way to go to work. So I was like, I'm gonna leave the ghost a nice gift. I figured if it's a ghost grandma, she probably likes lipstick. This is so stupid. But when I was leaving for work, I grabbed a new lipstick and I was like, ghost grandma, I'm leaving you this lipstick because I thought you might like it. It's a beautiful red shade and I think you will like this lipstick, ghost grandma. Please accept my gift. So I left it on the stool and I go to work, leaving ghost grandma this nice gift. Let's do this bronze shade. I told somebody about leaving the gift and they just looked at me like, you are never supposed to interact with the ghost. How was I supposed to know? I thought it was nice. I was coming in peace, like Mars attacks. Remember when they come in peace with the dove? Oh wait, don't they shoot the dove? My bad. So I come home and the lipstick, it was on the floor. Now this one I was kind of like, well, Saint could have knocked into the stool and, you know, so I can't really say that one creeped me out too much. With a small brush and this shade right here, it's called Double Dip. Yeah, look. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, double dip. So as of lately, I would say within this last like month or so, I don't know if this is like a personal problem or something, but I've been having some really messed up dreams. Gross, morbid. Is morbid the word? Lots of people dying all the time. Blaze. And a small brush. Let's do this one right in here. So let me do the other eye really quick. Save time. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. I'll be right back. This is the Urban Decay Beach Bronzer, and it's called Bronzed. It's matte, has no shimmer to it. Love it. So yeah, that's my little story. Sorry I'm not the best at talking and doing my makeup, but I thought I'd share with you guys. I feel like nobody will believe me, and that's totally fine. I know when I hear people talking about ghost stories, I'm like, sure, yeah, okay, yeah. It's hard to believe unless it happened to you. So I put on these lashes. They're pretty natural looking, but they are called Christina number DW. I got them at the swap meet for $1.50. For my lips, I'm going to use my MAC lip liner in Spice. Then the Urban Decay lipstick in Tower 1. And this is the finished look. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you want to wear it? Pretty. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and letting me tell my little ghost story. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. I hope you guys have a great day today. Make good choices. I will be seeing you guys very soon. Bye.